Yeah, see, we got everybody in here now.
Actually,
all right, let me get in a seat. You ready?
Yes.
Getting nervous.
Music is not going to play. Music is going to play here.
All right.
Wait.
see if I can turn on, go to the camera.
And you control your headphones.
You
The headphones, you control your value. Because you'll hear everybody in the headphone.
The music is playing.
Oh, I'm
How do you
sorry.
control your value?
Finding which one your cord is hooked up to, like
Then
what?
you hit one again, so the music will be playing in the background.
This one's me.
Okay,
Oh,
turn
yeah.
that microphone down. Check your microphone.
I guess I'm three, yeah.
Wait, which one are you? You're one.
You hear the music?
Yeah.
You have control.
So if you hear the music, then they.
Okay, number 3. Where's? Oh, Corey's on that
Corey's
side.
number 3 today.
Number 3, yes. Yes. Oh, you're coming in already, Face. Come on in, Facebook. It's on. It's on. It's on. You can see us on camera. Well, we all dark skinned up in here.
That's all right.
We ain't got no light skinned guests over here. It's gonna be on.
You got a great shot over
This
this
is
is
really
rolling.
hot.
So camera be changing and everything, but Facebook, we got them here. We got them
I'm
here.
hearing something on live.
Shoot them over to Facebook and they can go back to you, but you want to shoot them to Facebook so they can connect with this audience as well.
Right.
That's where you're going to pick up your traction for here. Okay, we're live here, so,
All right.
okay.
Yeah. Stop my music and we
I
got
don't hear the vocals. Oh, yeah, I know
Can
why.
that
'cause I
camera
have
move
this on.
top?
Right.
Doesn't
I can't do
matter.
that.
it. Don't matter.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay.
I can't.
You guys make a great
test
couple.
them
Oh,
live
thank
here.
you.
Because
You know,
you can hear us at
and
the-
I know how bad this cat is. We was at Just Mike thing, so I
click this line.
I know I can't wait to hear some of his pieces.
Just take them down.
And I want your most controversy. Come with controversy. I love
They've
controversy.
been hearing everything that's been said. That's when you had them up in your live. So they weren't hearing all of that.
Come on in. What's up, Donna? It's on today.
Let me do
We're
it.
gonna
Let's
be
just
a very, very talented
turn
too.
them up. So you can get
Mary,
the best now
that's,
how you start.
man, I know their kids gonna be
You
super
look at
talented.
I got it.
So we're gonna get it going on in a few minutes. We might go maybe 5 minutes over. Whatever we start, we go 2 hour show. It's all calculated time. People tuning in already. They're coming in already for the live show. This is Facebook. Danny, what's up, man? It's good to see you, brother. Kimberly, come on in. How you doing? Good God afternoon, people of God. You have tuned in to The Solutions. I am your host, Minister Corey Wright. As always, we know what the problems are. We know we need to solve them. What I offer on this platform is solutions. Dedicated acts of action that bring about true change, not just talked about change, and no excuses. Excuses are man's tools of incompetence that build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing. Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois, the Christ Apostolic Family Network. And I am here welcoming my 2 special guests. You guys need to buckle up because you in for an amazing show. We got Jeronimo Speaks, and I met Jeronimo Speaks at Just Mike's album release. And when I tell you, this guy is one of the greatest sought after spoken word artists in the country.
Appreciate that.
This guy is bad. And then we have his lovely wife, Candie, and she is producer of our own show, TV talk show, Chatty Catty on CAD TV. When I tell you she is brilliant, talented, she can see great shows, great things coming a mile away. You guys are tuned in for a great show, so I'll let each one of them introduce themselves. Ladies first.
Thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Candy. Some people call me CPR. I just started my talk show last year in 2017, and I still have things up and running for it. But I'm very excited for the things that I have in store for the show. I have a great team of young ladies also co-hosting with me on the show. A shout out to Courtney Wade, Kendra Boy, and Dr. G. Those are my other co-hosts on the talk show, and I'm just really excited for what God has in store for us.
Okay. And my man Jeronimo Speaks.
Speaks family, Jeronimo Speaks. I'm a national folklore artist. I travel all around the country doing spoken word, award-winning spoken word artists. I have a dope team called Solace Coalition. We out here trying to do God's work. Solace means a place of peace in the midst of turmoil, and that's definitely what we're trying to provide for Chicago. So I can't wait to give y'all some of what we got as a union, you know, me and my wife Keith, no grind, no shine.
Well, hey, you know what? Before we get into the interview, let's hear peace. Let's jump right into it, you know, because the audience, they drooling right now. I can see them right now drooling. Y'all drooling. I'm drooling. Come on, whatever y'all want to do. Come on.
I've never stood on the sandy shores of an Iraqi war. And I've never stormed with troops through Desert Storm in boots. And I've never acted in a plan to take terrorist land from Afghanistan. But one of my friends say, Jay, you got post-traumatic stress disorder. And in order to fight this disorder, you got to speak about your pains in this order. So speaking becomes therapeutic from this order, you're a street soldier. And in order to get over, your mind got to think wholly and your tongue got to think sober. So here we go. PTSD, posted, trapping, selling drugs, popping text, squeezing deserts, and I was in the midst of it as an adolescent. Yeah, that was adults present, but I formed most of my scars from adult sections. Have you ever been around someone smoking crack? The thick aroma smells like the stellest, wettest, moldiest bread, and I couldn't eat for a week after that. But you know what really made me weak after that? My first time seeing a body. I was maybe 7 probably. There I was on 92nd and Cottage Grove, right by the corner store, when I see a chase and pursuit. 12 gangsters all ready to shoot. Pistol in hand, stumping out one man. Did I see him reach for the can and... You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. PTSD, huh? P. Ching selling drugs. Funny how quick you graduate to the real thing from selling drugs. It's ironic how they give you the dough and tell you you a blow and yell it's for the low and sell it to your own. But when jail is your new home is hell. You're on your own. I remember homie used to be on the block. Everything he had on, it looked like he paid cash for it. And went from let me get $1, sure shawty if I got one on me, to let me get $1. Here shawty, if you drop this off for me. To, hey, shawty, you want some extra dollars? Here, pop this off for me. And I remember the first time a fiend approached with some cream, you know what? I don't even want to talk about it. PTSD, huh? Partner sinning, deacon, but it's too much money out here and me and my guys eating, and no one ever put a price tag on our worth. They say you gotta die to see heaven, but I want to see it here on earth. And no, we don't do songs, but we read tatted out songs on forearms and pray to the same God when it's wartime in sight. One time it literally rained bullets for 40 days and 40 nights because we was the only block flooding when it was drought season. But I'm looked at as a heathen. Shorty's forsaken Jesus, sending me and the God with that 30 piece and is foolish. Forsaking Jesus, sending him to God for 30 pieces like Judas. And I try to talk to him, but it's like I'm speaking in code. I was broken, drugged through the mud, lost loved ones, and I never denied God. I was on my job. What am I speaking in code? I said I was broken, drugged through the mud, lost loved ones, and I never denied God. I was on my job. And they try to talk to me like go to church. And I'm like, dang, is it worth it? Because Moses taught me even a holy staff could turn into serpents. And lately, it feels like the devil made a pact with God to impact my life. And I'm looking at God like, you know what? I don't even want to talk about it. PTSD, huh? My best friends say, how could you heal if you never talk about it? All you do is talk around it. You live the life that most would consider astounding. But at the end of the day, I don't even want to talk about it. PTSD.
Wow. Wow, now that's how you start a show off. Wow. You know, we're going to get to, because I don't know what you got after that one, but I know you got something good. How did you come up with that? I mean, what was the inspiration behind that?
I mean, all my spoken word is life based. So I grew up in the projects on 21st and State. I moved down there when I was like 9, you know, and before that, you know, I stayed in and out of shelters with my mom. So we was living with people. And one day I was hanging out with one of my friends, and we was in like a real bad neighborhood. And And like it was a restaurant that we went to, and they were sitting in the car, and I just got out like, yeah, I'm about to go to this restaurant. And I just got out and went to the restaurant. There was like 20 dudes posted up, and I didn't think nothing of it. And then when I got back in the car, they like, you wasn't scared? And I'm like, of what? What are you talking about? It was like, you know, like that was a scary situation, and you just went in there like it was nothing. And it was like, yo, you numb to it, like, you know what I'm saying? You got PTSD, and I was like, I ain't never been like to a war or nothing. And they like, no, you can have post-traumatic stress disorder and never seen, like, you know what I mean? And then I started thinking about all the different times in my life that, like I said, my first time seeing somebody get killed when I was 7 years old, seeing someone smoking crack, selling drugs, first coming into contact with God, and you know what I'm saying, the resistance at first and things of that nature. And then I was like, I guess I do got a little hint of PTSD, you know. So that's what PTSD. I just broke it down like PTSD, posted, tracking, selling drugs, popping text, squeezing deserts. PTSD, pardon the sinning deacon, and I just break it down to different aspects of my life, you know.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah. Now I don't know what you have, because that wow, he just mad. Man, that was awesome. You see people already tuned in, man. How can you, if you guys want to talk to either one, Geronimo Speaks or Candie, the number is 773-647-2550. That's 773-647-2550. You can talk to them live on the air. Call up.
Yes, please. So my husband is definitely amazing at what he does, and I look up to my husband. He truly motivates me, and, you know, he encourages me. He's the one that I went to first about producing and starting my own talk show. At first, I was going to do it live. Then I said, you know, I'm affiliated with Can TV, so why not turn the live video tapings or do that and turn into maybe something bigger and turn into a talk show. So once I decided to turn into a talk show, I had to write a treatment for it. It was a process. It wasn't just something that I was able to just get, you know, overnight. It was a process for it. But once I got the okay from the station, I gathered the ladies that I have, again, kind of Dante G, Courtney Wade,
hey,
Boy.
y'all.
I love you ladies. They also bring a lot of energy and positivity and their own personalities to the show. Not only with the talk show, I'm also in a movie. The movie, I am actually still filming my scenes for the movie. It's with Cornucopia Productions. It's called The Gag Date. It's going to come out this year, I believe. So, but that also takes a lot of time, and not along with the talk show itself. I'm also a playwright. So I'm also in the process of also producing my very own first freshman stage play. So my plate is pretty full. It's very full right now.
I sure didn't get invited. Geronimo, Geronimo in it.
Nah, I ain't in it.
Right. Oh, if Geronimo in it, you know I ain't getting no. You know.
I ain't put on my acting hat yet. You know, maybe one day I'll, you know, put on the acting hat. Not yet though.
Well, you know, I'm about to ask you a question. I know everybody want to know. How did you two guys meet?
You want to tell it?
Sure. So I was, I had just got a job. This was like 10 years ago. I had just got a job at a restaurant, BJ's Market and Bakery, as a cook in training, and she was a counter attendant. And like when I heard her voice, I was like, hey, I gotta talk to that girl. Like she had a very distinct voice that like grabbed my attention. And so I, you know, kind of just
He
did
said
my
her
little,
voice was like, woohoo, is that talking?
yeah. So you know, I just kind of did my little game. You know, it was like, hey, talk to her, and then I tried to we started talking at work, and then I was like, hey, let's take this to like a phone conversation. And then she said, yeah, and then we talked on the phone for like all that day. And then I'm like, hey, you know, let's take another step and let's date. And then like she said no. She's like, I'm good.
Trying to give brother a hard time. You
Yeah,
hear that,
You
Facebook?
can't go and say yes right then and there. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know.
Also, you were feeling him a little bit too. Then.
I was.
Oh, okay. So you feeling him too.
Yeah, so you know she so then you know I was okay with that, but you know I was persistent and just kicking it with her, hanging out with her, going out all the time, and then eventually we started dating. Then that led to us moving in together, And then that led to us getting married, you know. And we've been together, 10 years?
About
11.
Yeah.
How many years you guys been married?
Yeah, it's about to be 3 February 22nd.
Now, how did you propose?
You want to tell that story?
I can tell that one.
See, like I can tell that one. You know, let me tell that one.
So the way he did it, I really loved how he went about it. He first asked for my parents' blessing, which I'm really grateful that he did it that way. But so I was at home. He said, "Get dressed." You know, I'm like, "Where are we going?" He was like, "I want to take you out to eat," because we always go out to dinner and things like that. So I got dressed. We went to the Grand Lux Cafe. And
Wow.
I'm just thinking it's just a regular night out. We're just having dinner. And we were sitting down eating. I'm eating a chicken Caesar salad. I love chicken Caesar salad. That's what I was sitting down eating. And then he stood up in front of the entire restaurant. And I mean, it was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. So he stood up, and I still got food in my mouth, and I'm still chewing. So I'm like, what is he doing? What is going on? So he stood up and made this really big announcement saying, "I love this woman. I'm in love with her. I want to spend the rest of my life with her." And then that's when he got down on one knee in front of the entire restaurant and asked me to marry him. And at first, when he asked me, I paused, you know, and of course I cried because it was a really special moment. But then I finally, you know, I said yes, and it was the best proposal ever.
Wow. Roland, we're going to send the engineer to go get you a Caesar salad. Roland.
Chicken Caesar.
Cause I know they was like, listen, I know the waiter was like, if she'll say I do, you still gotta pay. Congrats, you know, man. Tony Brad said, congrats to both of y'all. Love it to you, two young people. Wow. When you, cause I put one of your wedding pictures. It looked like you had a great, extraordinary wedding.
Yeah, we had like a black wedding. It was like
He said a black wedding.
Yeah,
I hope so, cause I hope you black.
Yeah, it was like, you know, it was like them soul food weddings, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Food, like,
Yeah.
it was like
Mama joke.
Right.
Yeah. We had it was real. It was big. She had made it really big. Like we had like 10 groomsmen and bridesmaids.
We had about 22 people in our bridal party, so it was a really big wedding.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question. Growing up, I mean, you know, you talked a bit about your childhood and tell us a little bit about, because you know, a lot of times we see the glory. We see you on you're amazing producer, talk show host, and you're one of the greatest spoken word artists.
Thank you.
But we don't always see the story behind the glory. Tell us, each of you guys, tell us about your childhood and how it affected you today as great artists you are.
Wow. Well, for me, I mean, I didn't have it, you know, perfect growing up, but I did have, you know, 2 hardworking parents in the household. My parents to this day are still married, but again, like I said, nothing was perfect. We struggled as well, you know. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I always felt as if I was always different from everybody else.
What's up?
I never was a follower. However, I would follow when it was needed, and I followed the right people. You know what I mean? So I always stood out in school. I wasn't a nerd, but I wasn't popular either. I just kind of did my own thing, and you know, I always made friends. But I didn't look towards that. That wasn't like my biggest thing. But I always made friends in school. So, but I was always different. You know, I feel like I'm you know, I'm not perfect by a long shot, but I am I'm different. You know, I have you know, a vision. I have goals and dreams I want to accomplish. I went to school, graduated from college, got my bachelor's degree, graduated top of my class with that, and that was not easy. It was very tough, and this school was majority of white people, so it wasn't too many blacks, which can be somewhat discouraging. But for me, I was on it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna, you know, do my best, and I was aiming to graduate top of my class. And I managed to do it, and I'm a strong and firm believer that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I don't care what it is. The people, you're going to have people that's not going to like it, they're not going to agree with it. You can do whatever you put your mind to. And those people who don't support you, they shouldn't be around you.
Now, and we'll get to you in a minute, Geronimo. How are you like your mom, and how are you like your dad? What was their influence on you?
Whew, my mom. I have my mom's personality. My mother,
I bet you look just like her. Too.
I do.
I ain't even. I'm telling the spirit gave me. I've never met her mom in my life. I know Geronimo. First time we meet you in person, and I bet you she looked just like her mom.
I do. I look just like my mother. Beautiful woman. She's a very serious woman. I'm also very serious. She says what she means and means what she says, and I'm the same exact way. But she's also very supportive. You know, I see a lot of myself, you know, from my mom. She is someone who is very hardworking, but she's also she can be very strict at times, which is what I needed coming up. She was a very strict mother. I didn't like it back then when I was young, but I appreciate it now.
How long you been on the phone?
Yeah, to bedtime, curfew, you know what I mean? So she was that kind of mom, but I appreciate it now. My dad, oh wow. I would say as far as my dad is concerned, he is definitely someone who supports me 100. Even from when I've been writing since I was 10 years old. And he is definitely someone who supports my dream, who believes in my dream. I am a daddy's girl. So, you know, I've always been close, you know, to my dad. And my dad at times, he can be more chill and laid back. But he is definitely someone who is like next to my husband, one of my biggest supporters. He's always supported me. He always believed that I can do whatever I wanted to. So, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Dad. All right, Geronimo. Now, a lot of people gonna be listening, man, because you got a story to tell. So tell us.
Well, my story is kind of different from my wife's. I grew up. I'm the only boy. You know what I mean? I grew up 3 sisters. I never knew my biological father. I was raised by my stepfather. My mom, she raised me and my 3 sisters the best way she could. You know, she had fights with drug addiction growing up, alcoholism. She was addicted to the neighborhood drug dealer, wherever, like, you know what I'm saying? So we was always in the midst of some type of criminality. We was up to like I was like 10 years old. Like I remember a lot of moving around, a lot of living with people, a lot of shelters from Hannah's We Care to Clara's House, Salvation Army. Like then we moved into the projects, and then that's when my mother met my stepfather, and he kind of brought a sense of stability to the household, you know, and he was the first real male figure that I had in my life. And, you know, of course, I went through I went nights without eating or sleeping on the floor. Or, you know what I mean? I went through the gang violence. Actually, high school, I was the first person in my family to actually graduate from high school.
That's good.
Yeah. You know, but it was tough. It was a tough road, you know what I mean? Because I went to high school trying to gang bang and just not getting good. And then I went to a fairly good high school. It was just God's plan. I went to Kenwood Academy at the time where my neighborhood high school was Dunbar and Phillips, which was all of the projects was going there. So, and I wanted to go there with all my guys, but I tested really well. On the Ivy test, and so that made me eligible to go to any high school I wanted in Chicago. So I ended up going to Kenwood, and then the teachers helped me. I'm still real close with my guidance counselor. You know what I mean? I graduated 10 years ago, and me and him, we still like I talk to him like once a month. So you know, and they helped me to start to become a man. You know. And of course I had falls and because you know it's like what's easy to do, you know what I mean, you're gonna want to do that all the time. I always tell people when they say ignorance is bliss, it truly is, because when you don't know better, you ain't gotta do better, and you don't got that burden on your chest. So when I didn't know no better, I just used to do whatever I wanted to do. And then when I started getting the knowledge and the wisdom, it became the road became more treacherous because I knew better, so I had to do better. You know, so my upcoming was a little bit more rough, you know.
How's your mom today?
My mom, she's been off of drugs since I was like, a kid. Like when she met my, well, you know what? She got off right before, like probably a year or two, a couple of years before she met my stepfather. So she been off like for years. You know, she still fight with some addiction problems, like, you know, alcoholism and things of that nature, you know, but not keep in my prayer and try to talk to her and try to, you know, become a positive source. And, you know, and this ain't nothing like it's something that she just recently picked back up, like, you know what I mean? So I just try to, you know, keep it positive and, you know, try to show her, you know, more than what she see, you know, so, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. During that rough time, how did you, you know, I know it was all God, but what did you do personally to get through those times?
I mean, well, as a kid, like being in the situation, like I didn't know nothing else, like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that I was I had to adjust to an environment. I was from as young as I can remember, I was in this environment. So, you know, so as a kid, it's like I never was depressed. I never was unhappy. I was just, oh, well, this is the way it is. You know what I mean? I didn't know that there was a different way of living until I got into spoken word. You know what I mean? I didn't know that parents, like my wife's mom and daddy, I didn't know that the people did that, like for real, like got together and stayed together. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, you know, you could travel the world and travel the country. I had my first time going out of Chicago was when I was 27, like, you know what I mean? That was just a couple of years ago, you know, so you know, so it wasn't even about adjusting. That was where I was at. That was my reality, you know.
Let me ask you a question. I'm sure there had to be some residual effects from your life as a kid. When you decided to get married, did you have a conversation prior with your wife or your wife-to-be about your past, and what was the receptiveness to that?
Well, my wife, by the time we got married, we was together for so long that, you know what I mean, she came into a situation when I was still that other guy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to drive her to college and go back to the block, like, you know what I'm saying, hang out with my guys and stuff like that. You know, by the time I knew it was something more to life, you know what I mean, through the process of us dating, I just didn't know what it was. But my energy repelled my childhood friends. Like, you know what I mean, people that's right now is somewhere serving or in jail or doing something crazy right now. The energy shift in me started to repel them. So eventually, it was just me and my wife. Like, you know what I mean? And so by the time we got married, I had experience, and I became familiar with who God is, like, you know, and I started experiencing a different type of people, a wiser type of people. I had traveled, you know what I mean, out of the state multiple times off of spoken word poetry. So by the time we got married, I was ready, you know, but she was there with me. She had, you know, just ignorance, me trying to, like, get her to take pictures with guns in her hand and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, like, you know, just young and immature. Yeah, because, you know, that was cool to me. Like, oh, hey, look, take this shotgun and take a picture with it. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatnot. That type of stuff was cool to me. Like, or people coming to our house to fight, you know what I mean? Or, like, you know what I'm saying, because of some drama I'm in, or, you know what I mean? Things of that nature, you know? So she was there through all of that, you know? So it was like, by the time we got to marriage, I don't know how she felt that I wasn't that person no more. Like, I was real undependable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
He said undependable.
Underdependable. Like, you know
Wow.
what I mean? And I mean, I fight with someone that's still with her, like, to, like, hey, no, I'm not that person no more. Like, if I got to do something, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna do it, you know. And she still kind of give me some of the same energy she gave me back then. Like, oh, I know you ain't gonna do this, son. I know you ain't gonna do that. And I'm like, no, I'm a different person now. Like, I'm better now. Like, you know, and I get frustrated with it, but I gotta understand, we've been together for years of me being a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And now that I'm not that way, I gotta give her the chance and opportunity to see me in the light that I'm in now, which I'm grown. Like, I'm not trying to be no thug. I'm not trying to sell no drugs. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to do nothing. I love God. You know what I mean? I know Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I'm happy, you know, with life, you know.
Let me ask you, Candie, what was the transformation of him becoming who he is today from what he was? What was your mindset in that transformation?
Wow. So
She started off with wow. Geronimo, she started off with wow.
It's definitely a big transformation. Like he said, we've been together for years. So when I first met him, he was definitely into being out in the streets and guns and violence and things of that nature. And I was never into those type of things, but it was just something about him that I was drawn to that kept me curious and interested. So at that point, when he was just, still out there in the streets and everything, I guess I just, I kind of said, okay, well, if I really like him, I'm going to, continue to be there with him, be there for him. I really care about him, so I'm praying to God that someday, that he will change and get better and do better. So I would say as the years kind of went by, I did see a very big drastic change in him. The people he used to hang out with, he doesn't hang with them anymore. He became more of a positive role model, I would say. And then not to mention him being a spoken word artist, I remember when he was first starting with that to where he is now, he has truly grown so much, and he's still growing. And, that encourages and motivates me. I'm like, wow, I remember when I first met him and he was this way to where he is now. And I loved him. I loved him back then, but I love him even more now because he has really, he definitely did a big and drastic change. And, I thank God for that every day.
Geronimo, let me ask you a question. Your wife is your helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
How was Candie a great influence in you? Was she one of the reasons why, or was she a leader in the fact of pulling you to a better direction? Was she like your anchor or your sail or your boost to get you to where you are?
Candie,
what was her influence?
Well, Candie, I didn't understand Candie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I used to. Like, she had a little red Cavalier when I met her, and I used to let me get the keys. I used to drive her all the way to college, Northwestern, right? Northeastern, far, just so I could just be whipping in her car all day. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I was like, at our age, I was like, she had her own car, and I was like, okay, that's what's happening. And then, I was very content with being at my mom's house. Like I said, all my guys, they used to come over to my mom's house every day. We used to sit on the porch, shoot dice, all that, whatever, all day long. And this was after we moved out the projects, I met her after the projects, after we moved out. And I was content. And Candie, she was the one like, hey, nah, like I'm moving into my own, and I'm moving regardless. So either you gonna do this with me or I'm gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna do it. I ain't want to do it, I do it. You know what I'm saying? And so that pushed me into a different level of responsibility because before that, all my money used to go on clothes. Like my mom's in shoes and just. I used to just blow money on her, whatever, and I had to adjust literally overnight. You know what I mean? Because my mom didn't really want no money, like a couple dollars. So I used to have all this money, and I used to just clothes, shoes, Babe, you want to go somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Then just spend stupid amounts of money, and so she pushed me into I can't do. I gotta pay a bill with this money now. Like, you know what I mean? And so that was the first thing that she did. Then she when you in a situation with somebody that you see them working hard, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been sitting on the couch while she done worked an 18-hour shift, and I'm sitting there and she walks into the door, like, that is a horrible feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? You like, man.
That is. She didn't work 18 hours and you sitting on the couch like, hey there.
Yeah, exactly. That is a horrible feeling, you know. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I you know, and even if I'm providing to hold my weight, you know what I'm saying? If, like, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't got a job, like she got a job, like, you know what I mean? And your mate, you know what I mean? She was my girlfriend at the time. Like, oh yeah, like she was my girlfriend at the time. She come in the house, dead dog tired, and I just been chilling all day. Like, it's my little ego arm got chipped. Like, like I can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? So she started to lead by example. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, I've always been a proponent of, if you know better, you gotta do better. You know what I mean? And so she was doing better, and I began to see and know and understand, like, okay, this is how this grown stuff works. Like, you know what I mean? Because she doing grown very well, and I'm still, we grown, but I'm not grown. Like, you know what I mean? And so I just had to adjust. So she definitely helped me in a path just by doing it. Like, whether I was doing it or not, she just did it. Like, you know what I mean? She'd be like, hey, babe, this is what I'm about to do. And she'd go do it. Whether I was going to be there to do it or not, you know what I mean? It's either step up or get left behind, you know?
You know, that's so amazing. And I tried to call in, but I wanted, try again. The phone is on, right, Roller?
Yes.
All right, so call in 773-647-2550. I got two questions, but this one's for you, Roland. I'm sorry, I call you Roland. Geronimo. Okay, what do you say to those young guys out right there thinking what you're saying is hip, and you know what, you a baller, you know what, this is what I want to do, and if you made it, I can make it, but they glorifying being in the streets. That's your question. And your question I got for you, when he finishes, I want you to answer, is you seen the best in him and you led by example. And so many women throw good men away because they want the finished product immediately. But you see his spirit and what God had for him. Answer the women how they can do that and not lose something good. But go ahead, Jerome.
Well, I mean, what I say that, like, my biggest issue and, like, that I give to, like, the reason why I was the way I was is because I literally did not know. I hadn't seen anything else but what I had seen. I was conditioned to an environment that I thought, well, this is what you gotta do. You know what I mean? And so, like, and I feel like that's a lot of people just don't know. Once I was able to see a little inkling, a peephole of what was on that other side, I clawed and scratched to get to the other side, you know? Because I'm like, I ain't gotta, no, my life can be drama free. Every move ain't got to be a life or death move. Like, I can, or the police kicking in the door, or my wife leaving me, or like, I need that. I need that type of peace. And a lot of people don't experience peace. And so to the young brothers out there, the reason why they in chaos because they mistaken chaos for peace. That's their peace. Chaos was my peace because I never understood what peace was. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I say. We just need to give them. We can talk to them all day. We can tell them that there's a promised land. You know what I mean? But unless they on the promise, unless they at least can see the soil, you know what I mean? We just words. You know what I mean? And so I was able to be put in a situation where they walk me to the soil, different people, my wife, mentors, guidance counselors, like, you know what I mean? Different people walk me to the soil, and I was able to see better. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, you know, and that's what I say to the young people. Like, listen, if you can soak up anything, all you got to do is see. And I mean, and beyond see, you got to know. You know what I mean? So you can see somebody doing something all day, but if you don't know that it's possible for you, then you just see. You know what I mean? And so when I saw and then I inquired, hey, how you get that? Well, that's all I did. You know what I mean? A funny story, real quick. So when I was younger, in my early 20s, Netflix had just came out, and I was like, I love Netflix. On Netflix, I wanted Netflix so bad. Like I was like, they got all these movies and stuff like that. And I was kicking it with one of my friends and over their house, and they had Netflix. And I was like, how you get Netflix? How you get Netflix? They're like, oh, well, all you need is a debit card. I was like, I got a debit card. Oh, well, you know, internet. I got internet. Well, you need just the app on, you know, some type of device. I got a Blu-ray with the Netflix app. So what's the problem? Why you don't have Netflix? And that was that simple. I saw Netflix had all the tools to get Netflix. And this is a real story. But I just like, I really want Netflix. And it was only $8. Like, so it wasn't even expensive. And I just didn't know until somebody said, hey, you got everything, just go get it. Now we got it, you know what I mean? And so that was a small but really big monumental lesson for me. That all these tools we got, all these things we got in front of us that we just don't know because ain't nobody showed us anything else how to use the same tool. The wheel can be reinvented a million times, but if all you're using the wheel for is to hold up your coffee table, then it'll never move. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know?
That's good. That's good.
So, to answer your question, definitely keep God first. And then the second thing I would say is to love yourself first. Don't go looking for love in the wrong places. Sometimes you should just let love find you. I wasn't looking for love. It just happens that me and my husband, we met from working at the same restaurant. Before I even met my husband, I was single for 3 years. I didn't date anybody. I just literally kept to myself. I didn't date. I was, you know, like I said, single for 3 years. I didn't even go looking for it. I just said, you know what, God, it's in your hands. I've always wanted to get married, and I've always wanted to grow old with someone. And before I met him, I just kept thinking to myself, like, this is never going to happen for me. Maybe I'm too difficult. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not, you know, I just started putting all these negative things on myself. And that's something that you cannot do. You have to definitely keep God first, love yourself, and then it can definitely be, you know, a big transition as far as if you're with someone who, you know, you see they have potential and they want to do right, but they're not doing right. It can be hard because, like I said, you know, my husband in the beginning, you know, I had my doubts at first only because he would do things that I wasn't used to, things that, you know, that was not positive, but it was just something about him, you know, and I was really drawn to his personality, and I was, you know, attracted to him as well. So I stuck it through. But some, you know, for some women or men, you may decide, well, this is not something that, you know, I want to do, which is, you know, to each his own. If you feel that it could be something that you're really not willing to stick through or can be detrimental, then I would say definitely move on from that. But if you see something in that person, male or female, keep God first. Keep praying. You know, a lot of relationships today, they don't have God in it. You got to keep God first, and not just in a relationship, in whatever you're doing. Keep God first and definitely love yourself.
Now, let me get a piece from you, Geronimo, that's your wife's favorite piece.
What's your favorite piece?
You know what? I like all the pieces that he does.
What's that tear? What's that one to be like?
500 words.
Oh, 500 words.
Okay, all right. That's a love piece, by the way. So she want to hear a love piece.
She want to hear love piece. We want to hear love piece.
All right, cool.
Hey, Roller, you might have to put some music on for this one.
It's on.
I can't hear no music. I need to.
Web.
Oh, the web. We want his. Okay, well, he don't need no music there. He got it.
All right, cool. The fire woke like Eddie Murphy in 1,000 words, but with only 500 words left. Now I wouldn't be depressed, but I search for you to use some last words to be professed. My love, 'cause shorty, you got me obsessed. The mere thought of you relieves all stress, and it gives me a feeling like I owe you. My heart's in depth. Everything else is inept. Granted, my life ain't picture perfect, but if I was to picture perfect, I'd picture you. Cause you're a work of art like a Mona Lisa down to a Kodak picture too. You made this man grow. Anything else but love I ain't trying to hear. Then go. Shorty, you a masterpiece like a Picasso. And if that makes me not so hard, so. See, I trade these weak Tims for weekends, these baggy jeans for magic scenes, and these fitted hats, well, for fitted hats. Not that I'm trying to put hats over you, it's just symbolic to our love that's overdue. See, just like fitted, you stay on my brain, but on the front end, I'm repping your team. See, you put me in a new era, and if I snap back, you make me throw back mine, you open my lids. I can't fight it, it is what it is. I'm just trying to say we fitted for each other, that's all. Besides, if I didn't wear a cap, when you cook clean Converse, make love like no other woman can do, how could I honestly say, hats off? See, I supported these women, but they never gave back support like a bar stool. That's why love songs constantly play while we driving. That be the cartoons. See, I never wanted to be an American dad. Thought the fellas would look at me as a simp, son. Now when I think about the Futurama, I'm happy to be a family guy. It's so real, this family life. I want to be your Martin, Gina. The Tommy Bonds to your Keisha. The Mill House to your Lisa. The passport to your Visa. Yeah. Trip with me as we vacate, shatter hearts and pierce souls like poison darts and empty legion fields of Greek gods of myths where fairies play with nymphs and turmoil we forget as we bask in this poetic bliss. I know I don't usually talk like this, but I would be remiss in repeating it if I didn't inquire in these sentences the full depths of our love. Yeah. At times I play the thug, but heaven must got a ghetto where angels sing in unison at falsetto, and I hear melodic notes every time I see you in stilettos. And to be honest, at first the boy wasn't real like the doll made by Geppetto, but you made me a man, standing against Satan and kneeling to the great I am. So poke me on Facebook and send me a personal I am. Change your relationship status to forever, and indulge me in a silly aqua love like Hillary and Trevor. And if you feel it, scream our love from the Eiffel to the Willis, and no one would ever hush you. So if I had 500 words left, my last three would be, I love you.
Wow. Wow.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, look at this. Like, wow.
Yeah. The thing about that poem, but it's called 500 words because it literally has 500 words in it. You know what I mean? So it literally.
And so is it safe to say that was inspired by Candie?
Yeah, I mean that's only one I love. Like,
all right, let's keep that all right. Well, controversy.
Like,
Because you see Candie over there looking like, okay, that'll be to me. Wow, Candie. Let's talk about you. You since the age of 10 wanted to be in TV. Now most people want to be on TV, but you want to be in TV. And how did it all come about?
You know, I've always, it's funny to say, but I used to be a really big fan of Barney when I was little.
Barney.
I used to always turn the TV on. And
Geronimo, I bet you didn't know that one.
I was a big fan of Barney when I was a little girl, and I used to always do the sing-alongs, ask if I was actually on the show. So I wrote a small skit like literally years ago, and I was just 10 years old. It was really small. And ever since then, I've just been into writing, and I've just always, when I got into high school, I've always been into theater. And then college, I even progressed it even more. And I took a lot of journalism classes, a lot of writing classes. I love to write. So by the age of 10, when I first started with the writing, I had wrote a very small short story, and I based it off of the Barney talk show. And so, the Barney TV show.
Barney got a talk show.
The TV show, the Barney TV show. And ever since then, I've just been growing in it, progressing in it, and I went to school for it. And I'm not young, but I'm young enough to where I still have a chance at pursuing what I feel I was put on this earth to do. God bless me with. I don't have that talent of being a poet or being a spoken word artist, but I do feel that everybody has their own talent and their own gift, and it's up to you to put it to use. God blessed you with whatever your talent is. Don't let it just sit there and dry. Put put it to some use. So that's what I've been doing ever since then, and I'm not gonna stop at it.
Now, your TV show, how did the concept come up? You like, let me get 4 women listening together, and it's chatty catty, right? So basically, everybody got to talk. So how did that come up?
Okay, so at first I said, I always saw people on Facebook going live. So at first, that was what I was going to do. I was going to just go live, ask questions, people comment on it. But then I said, you know what? I was a production assistant at Can TV, so why don't I maybe, turn it into a talk show? And I've always wanted to produce. I just didn't know if I wanted to produce a talk show or produce a news segment. I just always wanted to produce. So I said, okay, why don't I turn this into, maybe a little mini, talk show, and see how, how far it can go. So I wrote the treatment for it. I pitched the idea to the company. They loved the idea. But then I said, should I maybe do this by myself, or should I get, maybe some other women or men to do the talk show with me? Now, I do watch, like, The View, and I watch The Real.
Because I don't see no men on that.
Right, and I do love those talk shows as well. So I said, maybe I can get 3 ladies to be on the show with me.
No, bro.
Well, I didn't get any guys. I do have sometimes the guys that comes on as a guest. But I wanted it to be all women because being, by being all African American women on the show, I want people to know that, we do have a voice. You know what I mean? And sometimes being a woman is hard to be heard because some things are so male dominant. But being a woman, and just not just African American, of any color, we have a voice. And on my show, we definitely have voices. I have Dr. G, who brings the energy to the show. She's very outspoken, and I just love how much energy she brings. I have Kendra Boyd. She's the sassy one, the fashionable hair, makeup. That's who she is.
Oh, my God.
Then I have Courtney Wade. She's more of the sensible, down-to-earth one, realistic one. I'm more so of the mediator. I try to, keep that glue together, But, it's definitely still, I would say, work in progress. I'm not a professional at all. I'm still learning things as I go along. Everything is sometimes trial and error. However, I thank God for blessing me with the opportunity and just to step out on faith. Because sometimes you have to step out on faith. You may not have all that support that you want from your family and your friends or whoever you are associated with. So you have to just sometimes definitely step out on faith, which is what I did. And the show has been going, it's been going really good, but I'm always shooting for greatness. So it's going really good, but Candie wants greatness. I don't settle for anything less than that.
Now, how can the people see it, and how often is it on? Okay,
so we are on Facebook. We have our own fan page on Facebook. If you type in Chatty Catties, that's ChattyCatties, you can go to our fan page. We also are on YouTube as well. Go to YouTube and type in Chatty Catties TV show. We have all our TV shows on there. We're also on Instagram. It's chatty_catties_. You can find us also on there. So we're all on social media. You can definitely hit us up. And if you want to email us, it's chattycatties5@gmail.com.
Okay, now what's the most frustrating thing about the show? And what's the best thing about the show?
Okay, the most frustrating thing I would say, it can be, everything falls on you. When you're like the head person, any mistakes, it all falls on you. That being your show, your idea, it definitely can be, it's hard sometimes being the leader of something. So that can be the most frustrating thing. Everything falls on you. The best thing about it is I'm able to, I've always wanted, like I said, to produce. So I'm having the opportunity now to produce my own talk show. I can see the show being international. I have just so many different ideas and a really big vision for this show. And it's going definitely in the right direction. It's a great start being with Can TV. I'm praying that it will get picked up, but, like I said, baby steps. So, but that would be the best thing I would say.
And you made a connection with Apostle Fisher. I can see you on the Christ Family Network, 90 countries,
Yes.
millions of people, you know, on a lot of stuff, Glory Star, Roku, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really honored. Now, let me get to Geronimo.
What's happening?
How did the name Geronimo Speak come about?
Well, my real name is Gerard, and I grew up on 21st and State Street. And so if you're not familiar with 21st and State Street, the buildings, they go all the way up to the 22nd floor, and they half-moon buildings. So on the porch, the gate, it only come up to here, to your chest level, but it ain't nothing else. Like, you know, it's nothing else. And so on the 22nd, so like I'll be on maybe I'll be on the 13th floor, and then like one of my friends there like lean over the gate and be like, "Hey, Geronimo," like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It went from Gerard to Geronimo, and then as I got older, so they just started calling me Geronimo, and so somebody came to me like, "Hell, you getting older, man. You know, you need to probably put the childhood name away." You know what I mean? And then so I was like, "Yeah, let me do that, but let me look and see what this name mean first." Like, you know what I mean? And then I looked up Geronimo, and I saw Geronimo Pratt, you know, the Black Panther, and I was like, "Oh, nah, this name's sticking. Like, this is divine intervention. Like, you know what I mean? This is God's plan, you know." I like to consider myself militant to, you know, a certain degree. So I was like, okay, cool, you know. So I left it as Geronimo, you know.
So Geronimo Speaks is the full name? Or?
Yeah, you know what Speaks? This is this is how Speaks came about. So when I got on Facebook, they was like, "Yo, you need a last name," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well let me just put Speaks up because I speak, like, you know." And I started going to my poetry events, and they were like, "Next up to stage, Geronimo Speaks." And I did like 100 shows. I was like, no, it's just Geronimo, like, it's not Speaks. And then eventually people just was like, "Hey, Geronimo Speaks." Hey, I was like, "Alright, it's Geronimo Speaks." Like, so that's how it ended up being Geronimo Speaks. Like, just like, you know, people, they recognize you from Facebook, you know, your Facebook moniker. So that's how that is.
Now, how did you get started in you know, what was first? I mean, how did you get started in poetry and speaking and stuff like that?
I mean, I think like 90% of the poetry scene out here rapping. You know what I mean? I was like trying to be like the gangsters, hoodies, pop them up, shoot them up, rapper. But the school I went to, they was real artistic there. You know what I mean? And so it was like it was rap there, but it was hip hop, like, you know what I mean? And I wasn't used to that, like, you know. And then they had the poetry and spoken word, and so I used to just go after school, and I started to notice like the poets and the hip hop artists, like I didn't hold the candle to them. Like they'd be talking about philosophy, you know what I'm saying? Socrates, like novelty, like they'll just be going, and I'm like, yeah, and I come into the cycle like, yeah, and I shot him dead, and now and then it was like, and it was like, yeah,
wow,
so, yeah,
okay, you
like,
can't come back.
Yeah, like, yeah, so it was like, yeah, you weak, like, you know what I mean? Like, because this was back then, like when hip hop was hip hop, like, you know what I mean? And it was like, nah, son, you gotta come with some bars, bro. And so I ended up trying to, and then my stepfather, you know, he came to me like, cause he rapped, like, you know, and he was just really into it, and he was like, hey, you know, the dopest thing you can do is not curse in your hip hop, in your rapping, because it takes you need to expand your vocabulary, and if you just put an F-bomb there or a B word there, then you don't, like, you mean, then you're gonna fall on that. That's gonna be your crutch. And now, like, I look up to him, I admire him, so I was like, oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, and so he was right. I took that out, and I just started writing all no profanity in my hip hop, and then my vocabulary got more extensive, and then I got into spoken word, you know, and I was like, ooh, I want to do that, and then I just started doing it for my personal though. Like, you know, so any time somebody say Smith, I just do hip hop, like, you know what I mean, just break down just hip hop, you know, and then and now I have spoken word just like from my personal what I've been through my life, you know what I mean, and then one day I was going out to an event where it was a competition, and I was in line waiting to be called up, and everybody was either singing or rapping, I was like, I want to do something different, like, you know what I mean? And then I just broke out one of my spoken word pieces, and DJ Sluggo, he was there, and he was like, oh man, you dope, like, I want to mess with you, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, bet, like, I linked up with him, I let him hear my hip hop, he was like, I don't really like your hip hop, but you know, that spoken word, you want something, like, and he pushed me to try to pursue spoken word more, and that's like literally how and then when I started performing spoken word, literally people was just like, oh hey, you want to come book here? You want to come here, come there, do this, do that, do that. Oh, you want to go out of town? Like it was like an overnight type of thing. Like literally, I was taken out of obscurity to like on this platform where people looking at me. You know what I mean? So that's how I fully got into spoken word. You know, DJ Sluggo spoke it into me. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna resist it. And then everything happened.
Do you remember your first piece you ever spoke?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't remember it verbatim. I remember. Okay, so my first piece, I was in 8th grade, where they tell us to do they told us to write a poem for assignment, and it was. I remember the name of it was called Casanova de la Ghetto, like, you know what I mean?
Casanova de la Ghetto.
I remember that name. That was my very first piece.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was that was a long time ago. Casanova de la Ghetto, and I was just like, my name is Gerard. I'm a one-man mob, like, you know what I'm saying, like this. And then,
I'm about to lay hands on Gerard for that. Help him, Lord.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then my second piece was called I forgot the name of that, but it was talking about like what was going on at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I read the only reason I remember it because my mom's in them. They used to just walk around and just like I started off like I read the paper today. It said they caught the Washington sniper. You know what I'm saying? Wait, you know, and so that was like my first like really memorized piece, and my mom's and them just walk around the house like I read the paper today, and I'm like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Tell us this interesting story, because all my guests, I get a bio, I read a little bit on them. You released an album that some people thought probably would be controversy, and you filled up a place of over 300 people. Well, you did. Tell us a little bit about that.
You talking about Songs of the Streets?
Songs of the Streets.
Yeah. So basically, Songs of the Streets is that was like literally my first interaction like around like the time I was literally getting into God. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to understand God, trying to like, you know what I mean? I was in a place of I had just literally got out of a place of not wanting to know God. You know what I mean? Like knowing that there is a God, but like don't want to know what I gotta do to be in God's good graces because then I gotta follow that. You know what I mean? And I was in a situation of, okay, I understand who God is. I know who God is now. Like, you know what I mean? And so why did it take me so long to know God? You know what I mean? And then I was like, well, it's a language barrier. It's a language. Like people don't like people that my age, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like church was boring to me at the time. Or it was a language gap. I didn't understand what the preacher was saying when, you know, he was reading from the Bible, and then he was breaking down the scriptures and verses, but even his translation was like still foreign to me because I speak hood. I speak block, I speak Ebonics, I speak, you know what I'm saying? My English was broken at the time. And so I didn't hear God. Like, you know what I mean? I heard God, I didn't hear the preacher's message, you know? And I was like, if I felt like this, I'm sure so many other people that felt like this. And so that's when I came up with Songs of the Streets, where I was talking about God, my relationship with God. I had a piece called We Cool, I got a piece called Verbal Ties, and it's basically me talking about like me and God's relationship, like how I talk to God and how He talk to me. Like God don't, if a Chinese person ain't gonna hear God speaking Rastafarian, like you know what I mean. God speak to you the way He speaks to you, the way He touches you. And so Songs of the Street is basically me interpreting the Bible in Ebonics. You know what I mean? For what I know. You know what I mean?
Well, I would love to hear a piece off that one, man.
I mean, I got you whenever you're ready. You know
Man, you know, let's get a piece on that one because reading that saying, but let me just say this before I say that, is that so many people, and religious people and ministers speak at people. They don't speak to them. That's why it's so important that we got to make the Bible, and I speak the Bible to people. Let me equate it to your life so that not only will you change, you'll see the message in the Bible, but you also see how you can apply it. So that's really good you said that.
Exactly.
But yeah, you know, let's get into some. Let's get into.
I'm just happy. I just think with verbal ties and We Cool. I guess We Cool applied the most to it. She said, son, if you don't know God, you're destined to spend eternity in hell. That the devil is a liar and the Almighty Lord will prevail. So if you don't know God, you're sure to lose. Oh, me and God, we cool. She said, don't you know that the devil is plotting and he's coming back soon? Oh, me and the devil, me and him cool too. She said, don't you know you spend the rest of your life at the fiery gates? Wait. Who are you to judge what I say? Did God make you the everlasting giver of His grace? See, I say we cool because that's the lingo He understands me through. See, when He spoke to me in them project set days, He came with baggy jeans and fresh J's. Reminded me of all the times I was on the grind, dirt on my mind. It was Him that kept me fine. And it wasn't thou shalt not this and thou shalt not that. It was your fam. Where you at? Walk with me for a minute. Let's have a chat. And when He finished it, He ended it with a dap. Because if God created heaven and trees for the world to be punished, then why couldn't He speak Ebonics? So yeah, we cool. Y'all say y'all praises to thee. Well, I nod my head like, what's up, G? Y'all say hallelujah, Father. Well, I just say holla. Just know speaking in tongue ain't only got to be for the Christians that celebrate Christmas. I'm saying Jesus will come back as a project living, straight hair, rare lyricist. Are you listening? And you walking around petitioning ain't got nothing to do with me and how I mention Him. And as far as the devil and me saying we cool too, that's because we got to understand it. He don't mess with me and he don't mess with old dude. See, he pray on the weak and I pray on the weak. Only difference is he's praying on you while I'm praying for you. And I admit it, we are cordial, but we enemies in this war hold the wink of corporal. And I take the responsibilities of knowing my enemies better than I know me. And that goes for socially, locally, and globally. And if you ever do come knocking at my door, God will be watching through the peephole and Jesus will be waiting on the porch. And even then, I got an arsenal full of angels that don't feel anger, but they hitting every angle till his toes, till his brain swole. Yeah, Joe, and I can literally put that on my soul. And God wasn't yelling, I sentenced thee to be damned. He was yelling at Jesus like, stump him out, fam. See, He talks to me in a way I understand. And that's fitted hat, long tee, and baggy pants. So yeah, we cool. Tomorrow night, we gotta shoot a little pool. And Miss Lady, if you still got a problem with that, maybe you and God just cool too. But it's only because you don't know Him like that. And that's that piece.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to tell you something about love, people. As he was repeating it, his wife was saying the words with him. She was saying it quiet, but she right there. How many spoken word pieces you know by heart? And how important it is to know it? And how do you speak with so much passion? Now that's 3 questions at one time. You can have all 3.
Okay, so all right, so I know like somebody just asked me this. I got like 20 pieces that I know, like just boom, boom, boom. I got because I'm a performer, spoken word artist. So
and you know what's funny too, because I asked you that too. I asked him the same question not too long. I said, how are you able to know all? You know what I mean? So I asked him that same question.
Yeah. So I'm a performing spoken word artist. So I gotta have a piece for all occasions. You know what I mean? And I gotta have a piece that's true to who I am. You know what I mean? So I'm not I don't write poetry. I ain't about to get up there and talk about the thing and all that. I'm not that, you know what I mean? So I usually avoid that. But all other genres, like somebody might hit me up, I need a relationship poem. I need just a feel good poem. I need a congratulations poem. I need a love poem. I need a just lyrical bars. I need just revolutionary. I gotta have a piece for all situations, and it gotta be true to who I am. So I try to put God into all my pieces because that's my essence and that's my core. You know what I mean? So I just try to have a piece for every occasion. So I got like 20 pieces, and I just keep them in rotation, you know what I mean? And that's how I remember. Like I've been just walking around the house. I just be walking around the house just saying that over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? So I write pieces in my head first before I put them on paper. So basically, I'll write the skeleton of a piece in my head, and then I'll just put all the glitz and glamour, meaning like the bars and the metaphors in it. You know what I mean? So that's how I come up with my pieces.
Have you ever did anything live just off the top of your head?
Yeah, I used to battle. I just battle rap like a couple years ago. I do freestyle, I battle rap, I do all that. I'm a hip hop artist. I do hip hop. I love hip hop, you know. So yeah, I do all that freestyle, hip hop. I freestyle poetry. Freestyle and hip hop is way harder than freestyle poetry. So I just go off the top. Like,
now you have such passion when you speak.
Uh-huh.
Do you relive any of this?
Relive
the situation that you're speaking about in the moment.
Well, I mean, I carry everything with me every day. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, you know better, you got to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you got to hold. You can't live in the moment, but you got to live with the moment. Like, you know what I mean? So I try to carry everything with me, like, you know, my street knowledge. Like that, all the situations I've been through, they gave me the knowledge to understand, like, yo, it's real out here, you know? So I'm not, like I said, my friend says I got PTSD, but, you know, I like to think like, hey, you know, I got enough street knowledge to know if a situation can get volatile or, you know, how far I should go into a certain type of situation, or, you know, I'm not sitting up crying about some things I've been through because they made me stronger, you know what I mean? And they made me, you know, they made me the man I am today, you know, everything. I wouldn't change not one thing, you know, because I'm here with her. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, they all roads leads to greatness, you know?
Well, let me get a little bit serious right now. Do you guys have kids?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Being that you've had the childhood that you've had and how you have overcome it and grew to such a great man, do you ever have any reservations that when you do have kids that you can either repeat the cycle, or do you ever have any fear that some of the things that you've been through could impede in your kids or affect your kids? And do you, as his spouse, knowing where he come from, would you be more stricter on your kid because of the lineage of what has come?
Well, like, so me and her, we kind of argue about this because...
Yeah, I'm saying the Spirit gave me this. I'm gonna tell you what the Spirit. Listen to the Holy Spirit. When the Holy Spirit give me, listen. I have no format. I have no questions. I ask what the Holy Spirit gives.
This is like one thing we do kind of up here.
Yeah, because she's like, you think your kid gonna be so perfect? Like, and I'll be like, listen, this is how I honestly feel. I mean, I can't wait till I bring a child into this world because, like, do you realize they an empty vessel? It's an empty book. You can write literally whatever you want to write on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, you have to write things on there that's stronger than the world. You know what I'm saying? The world's influence, but they're gonna be affected by the world, and you need to. And it's just like making a cake. Like everything, the ingredients got to be just right. So when the world add extra dash of salt in there, then it's just gonna balance it out. I don't want a child that ain't been through nothing. I don't want a child that walk was easy. You know what I mean? I want a child that's conditioned to the hardships that life will have to take. You know what I mean? And you know, and that's why it's so much hard out here. You know, like when you was growing up, I got bullied when I was growing up. Yeah, a lot of people got bullied when they was growing up, but that was life. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, like, it's harder for kids to adjust because they get put in bubbles, and when life throw a bully at them, then their life is over. They want to take their life. You know what I mean? So I believe in a little bit of hardship. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of, hey, son, go, all right, you want to go ride that bike without your knee pads on? Go ahead. You know what I mean? And when you say, hey, I'm going to get you, and I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to clean the wound, and I bet you tomorrow you're going to put on your knee pads. Like, you know what I mean? So I believe you let them go there. So I don't believe, so Kenny be like, oh, you think your kid's going to be perfect? No, I'm just going to write perfect on them. And what the world offer them, it's just gonna make them perfect what I already put on them, and then add that in. I want a street smart and book smart child, and a person that's wise. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. And I don't think, and, you know what I mean? I'm trying to answer her, rebuttal her before she even talk, but I
can see it. Her face tuned up like this.
But I don't think my kid gonna be perfect. I feel like when my kid do bad, I'm gonna put enough in them that they know they doing bad. So, you know, ain't no excuses. You know you're doing bad.
And the really basis of my question is, do you feel that some of the things that you've been through is going to affect you in parenting that child or the children?
No. I feel like that. Like the things I've been through in life is going to help. I'm gonna tell them, like, I'm gonna talk to them. You know what I mean? I'm like, the ultimate thing I can get them is wisdom. Like, the only thing I can do is talking to my face on the blue, and I'm okay. I'm patient enough to do that. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna hide anything. This is what I did. This is what I went through. This is how that turned out. This is what I did. This is how. Like, I'm gonna write on them my story. You know what I mean? And all the goods, bads, the ups and downs. And when they get into, I want them to get into a deja vu situation, but not because of them, because of me. Like, man, I'm in a situation that I think I've been in before. Now, your daddy told you that what happened when he was in this situation, and then you know to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's so everything I've been through, I'm going to give all that to my child because they deserve the right to know. You know what I mean? Or whatnot, and make their own decisions. You know?
Hands down, I do believe that we will be great parents. We'll both be very strict on our kids. You know, I grew up in a household to where, you know, I didn't go through as much as he went through, but my household, my mom was, you know, very strict on me and my sisters. I have 2 other sisters, and she was very strict on us. And then, like I said, you know, back then I didn't like it because I felt like my mama was mean. She mean, you know. But, you know, I appreciate it now that I'm older. It matured me. I'm more responsible, and I appreciate it. I definitely, you know, me and my husband both, we do have 2 different backgrounds, 2 different upbringings. And when we do have, you know, children, I definitely want my kids to know his background and where he came from, and then my kids to know my background, where I came from. We are going to be strict parents. You know, our kids are not going to necessarily want or need for anything. We're going to, you know, definitely provide for our kids. The only hesitation that I have when we do decide to have children is the sacrifices that you make. You know what I mean? Like right now, you know, he travels a lot. Sometimes he's gone a lot. I'm busy with things that I'm doing. But, you know, when you bring a baby into it, everything changes. And I'm not saying it changes for the bad, but everything changes. You know, for some people, you may have to put some things on hold, and some people things stop. You know,
and that's another place me I disagree. Cause I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have my baby on the mic with me.
And
like,
see, I said no.
You're
No,
not gonna have
that's
my
not
baby.
gonna happen.
He said, go ahead and baby on the mic, open mic.
That's not gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna have a baby at the open mic.
No way. Because the only thing, these open mics, I feel, you know, it's something you could bring kids to it, but there's, you know, bars, there's language, there's crowds of people. No, you're not. No, my child is gonna be home with the both of us because we created the child together.
We still disagree on that. Like,
We do.
I want
We
my
do.
child to be cultured.
The child can be cultured, but I feel as though I don't want the child, especially if it's like maybe a few months old.
Not a few months, but 1 year old, like you know what I mean.
So who's gonna? So let's say I'm not able to attend one of the events. Who's gonna? And you want to take the child?
Baby, right here on the side,
it's gonna be on the show. Our son or daughter will be on the stage with you. Is that what you're saying? No, I don't see that happening. You're gonna give our child to have somebody else home. Then I'm gonna be upset. I don't
take the child.
And I know I'm gonna be very overprotective of my kids. I'm not gonna just have my kid or kids with anyone. I'm very overprotective and very territorial. So the child being on stage is not gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm like the differences between us. Like school wasn't priority in my household, like you know what I mean. But school was a big priority in her household, like so she knows she gonna really push school, and I'm a firm believer in school as well. But she went through the experience of it, like you know what I mean. So it's just gonna be a mixture of things, like oddly enough, there's certain things about me, like I've never drunk or smoked. I've never drunk liquor, smoked cigarettes, weed. None of that, like you know what I mean. So, or I don't eat pork, like you know what I mean. So, I'm
sorry, I love pork chop.
I love the swine. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help it.
Roland over there. Roland got a pork chop on his right now.
So it's just gonna be a different mixture. We grew up so totally different, and it's just like I said, it's just gonna be a balance. Like I want my kid to make the mistakes and learn from them. She wants to coddle. She's strict right now. Like you know what I mean. Like
I am not strict.
She don't.
I'm not strict. I'm not strict. I just have certain things that I feel should be a certain way, but I don't think I'm strict.
She ain't budging.
Now, are you guys opposite? Because you say opposites attract. How do you guys balance each other out?
Well, I mean...
See, hold on. You know what I love? My questions must be good, because she done made sounds like the every going, For Geronimo, did she make sounds after every question? The Holy Spirit give me some questions, y'all, because she like, I don't know what to expect. Wow, he didn't write this down? Rolling over there, copying everything.
Yeah, one of the things, she didn't have a sense of humor at all.
Wow.
She did not laugh. I have a dry humor.
I do laugh. I just don't think everything is funny.
Now she laughs. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like if you say hello, she be like, yeah, hell is low.
Exactly, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's low.
And me, I'm a person I like to.
He's silly. Sometimes a little goofy.
A little too silly. So
yeah.
So versus a person who always just straight faced. You know what I mean? Like she could be chilling. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I just be deep in thought. That's all.
Nothing. I was like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Like you look mean. And she be like, nah, I'm just sitting here chilling. And I'm like, I be like, just. I'll laugh to myself, you know what I mean? Laughter is infectious. So, it's you be around somebody long enough, either their personality gonna get off on you, or your personality gonna get off on them. So now we be just joking and talking, and she understands my humor more. You know what I'm saying? At first she be like, "That's not funny," and I was like, "No, everybody else is laughing, but it's not funny." But now she be like, that's funny. And then she be telling jokes. I'm like, whoa. And I'm still getting used to that. I'm like, was that a joke? So, we at a point where we balance each other out. You know what I mean? Me, I'm not the tidiest person in the world. But she's super clean. You know what I mean? I think to another woman, I would be probably considered clean. But
no,
to
you
her,
still consider
she is
super
clean.
I just don't when I was little, my mom was very strict on us about keeping our rooms clean. She was hard on us, and I used to hate it so much. I was junky when I was young. I was a mess. But as I got older and got my own, moved out, got my own place. I want a clean house, and I think my mom for that. I didn't like it back then, but I appreciate it now because I have to have a clean house. It's a must.
We just got over her not cleaning up while eating. I'll be eating.
I'll ask you
and then
first.
I'll look down and she's wiping
I don't
the
just
crumbs
do
up.
it. I'll ask him
Yeah.
first, is it okay? And then
Like,
he'll say,
no, she'll be asking me while she's doing it, like, hey, is it okay if I just clean this up right now?
I just don't like, you know,
Like, can I eat my food? Like,
Right, I was eating that, sweetheart.
I don't like filth. I have to have a clean house. I have to have things. I'm very detail oriented, so things have to be in order. I gotta have a clean house. It can never be junky, and I mean never.
Wow,
be
so
junky.
I got to know, how do you all get over arguments, and who be the first one to reconcile?
So, I'm not an emotional arguer. I'm gonna say what it is, and I'm sorry. And this is, I need to get over this because this is a fault. I argue to win, you know what I mean, versus arguing to really solve the issue. She just argued. She argued out of this is not right, and she's emotional. And so so at the end of the day, it be a more of a, you still love me? I still love you, right? Like, yeah, and then we like, yeah, we love each other. Like, yo, and like, and then it kind of like go there, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like it's a fault on both of our end, because when she gets upset, like, she gets emotional, and when I get upset, I get point proven. Like, oh, okay.
You don't always prove your point. It's not like you're always a
She'll
point.
hear my point, and she's emotional. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah. So, normally one of us come back to. I'm not I don't hold anger. Like, you know what I mean? So I can let something fly because I've been through real anger. You know what I mean? So
And see, I need to work on that because I can hold. I want to say I can hold a grudge sometimes if I'm really upset. So that's something that I definitely need to work on. But if it's something that, you know, he already knows is gonna make me upset, then why, you know, don't do it. Don't take it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm more like, yo, if she do something that she knows is gonna make me upset, I'll say it in a moment. Hey, don't do that again, okay? Like, you know what I mean? I'm mad right now while I'm saying I'm gonna do it, but could you go make me a sandwich, like, or something? Because I'm okay now, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
you bad. Yeah, you make me those sandwiches. You come back.
No, I'm talking about like when I'm mad, like I can be like my irritation, or if I get angry, it's literally like it's a choice. Like, I literally be like, do I want to give this my energy right now? And so she got kind of the secret code to that choice, because she taps right into that. Like, well, I'm gonna choose to be upset right now because she made me upset. Like, you know what I mean? But after I address my problem, my issue, I be good. Like, literally, I don't carry nothing with me. You know what I mean? And she may still want to talk about it, and we can talk about it. But you know what I mean, we talk about it so she can get where I'm at, basically. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, that's usually how it is.
She look at you. See that lip tip? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. What do your parents think of him, and what do your parents think of her?
My mother and father, they love Gerard. I didn't have a lot of boyfriends. Only had so many guys that I dated, and that was like in high school. But I only had so many boyfriends. But they love Gerard. They can tell that I'm very much in love with him. They have a good relationship. My mother, she's always, you know, just the one who's
I like her mom.
very strict, and sometimes she's like, "Did you make him something to eat? Did you cook for him?" I'm like, "Yes, Mom, I did." You know,
Every
and my
time
dad,
we go out somewhere, she come back with food. Like, my mama's
every time,
or
make sure you get his
eat.
to him. You know, give him this sweet potato pie. You know, and my dad, he's definitely more so the laid back, chill, whole conversations. You know, they love him. They like him a lot.
What was the first day when you brought him home? What they was looking at him like?
Wow, the first day I brought him over, I would say their impressions, I think my dad at the time, he was working late, so he wasn't there, but my mom was there. She just asked, you know, okay, who was this guy? You know, because Gerard is a big, you know, football size built kind of guy. So she was just asking questions like, you know, it wasn't bad, but just asking questions like, who is this guy, you know, and what's his name, and, you know, things like that. Things that mothers, you know, would ask when their daughter brings home, you know, a guy. So, but it wasn't nothing crazy.
What about you, Gerard? You walk in the door to meet her parents, and you like, listen,
You know what?
they asked me
It
the
was-
wrong thing. It's
Nah.
gonna be on.
Nah, I was taken off guard because it was super quiet. I was like, "Where's everybody at?" Like, it wasn't that late. It was like 7 o'clock. It was like lights was off. I'm like, "What is going on here?" Like, this is a setup. I know a setup when I see one. She got me in this like dark house, and it's just like, and then her mama just came out the room like, "Oh hey," and then I was like, "Oh okay, this is where you live." Like, okay, hi, you know. And I kept it real quiet because I didn't know. Like, her mama, I thought mama was gonna be mean or something, so I was just in there quiet, like, yeah, you know what I mean? But she turned out to be super nice, like a super nice lady.
Let me ask you this question because my fiance's mom looks great. So, you know, I'm taking her mom look great. So you probably, was you thinking like, listen, if I marry her, she gonna look like that when she get older?
Yeah,
I'm all right.
I be cracking jokes all the time.
He does. He cracks jokes
Like, tell
all
me,
the time.
I wouldn't have to go through this if I was at your mom's house. She not a treater man. Like, you
Oh
know what I'm
my
saying? You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then on vice versa, like, with my mama and my mother and stepfather, they love Candy to death. You know, my mama, she was going through a little jealous because, you know, my mother said she raised me to be the man that she wanted, you know what I mean, when she was growing up. Like, you know what I mean? And so,
Wow, that's deep, man.
yeah,
That's heavy.
Yeah, and so, of course, there's going to be a little jealousy there when you see somebody getting all of the, you plowed the field and planted the seeds, and then
They getting
somebody
all
else
the
getting
benefit.
all of the, yeah. And so, our first, like, and then Candy didn't necessarily come off correctly on our first time coming home.
Oh, we need to hear about that. How she did? Oh, look at her face. I gotta hear this. What happened?
Yeah, so, well, like I said, literally we went over each other's house for the first time the same night. Like, I went over to this very quiet, nobody there. She went over to my house.
It was loud, a lot of people. I'm like,
a lot of-
everybody in this
yeah,
house living?
yeah,
You know,
she
total
didn't-
opposite from,
it was
my
yeah,
house.
it was a 6-bedroom apartment, like, I mean, or whatever it was, two level. And so once she thought everybody, she only saw like 3 of the rooms. So she thought everybody, like, it's like 10 of us in there. She thought everybody just lived in 3 rooms. It's like, no, it's upstairs, like, you know what I mean? And it just so happened that we were playing Pictionary. My mama and all my sisters and their kids was there. Everybody was playing Pictionary. And me and Candy was on the same team. And this is her first time meeting my mama. And she cursed me out because I couldn't get the what she was doing. She's like, you're not doing right. You're
I'm
not
very
winning.
competitive, so
I'm like,
I didn't want to lose. I wanted to win, so
Yeah.
I kind of got a little upset.
So your mom look at her like,
a little upset.
yeah. And then all my sisters and stuff there, they like, who is this girl?
you better get him out of here.
Yeah, my mom was like, she was like, she got an anger problem or something. I was like, no, man, she just really got into the game, you know what I mean? But after that, you know, it was way smooth after the first night. You know, we ended up, my mama like called her daughter and, hey daughter, what you doing? So they got a real good relationship.
I love his mom.
I would have loved the conversation the very next day or when you came home with your mom after meet her for the first time.
She was like, she was skeptical. She was like,
No, you gonna bring her on.
She yelled at you in front of us. So I was like, Mom, she just got into the game. Like I don't know. You know, that may be a sign or something. Like, it's cool, Mom. Like,
Are you really that competitive?
Yes, I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose at all. And I even, I don't know what came over me because I'm always on my best, behavior. So when we was playing the game, he was just doing some silly stuff. I'm like, what were you thinking? Why are you doing this? I just kind of got
I didn't even really care about the game.
a little upset. So I got in my feelings about it because I'm like, what? It was just something I thought that was kind of stupid. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And it shows. So I can understand why they would, at first be kind of skeptical. So.
You was right home like, yeah, they might need some Thanksgiving dinner. That's it. Let me ask you guys, have you two guys ever worked on a project together?
Like,
Have to cross
since
your
I've been
mind?
serious, nah. Nah. But when I used to be doing like rapping and stuff, like she'll like sit down with me and we'll like come up with hooks together. But like since I've been doing like, I bring my poetry to her. Like, hey, what you think about this? And then she'll like, oh, she'll give her critiques on it. Oh, I like this. I think you should change that. Da, 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 da.
But we are thinking about going into
Yeah,
business together.
yeah, like that. So we haven't in the past did anything together. We just kind of be bouncing off. Like when she come to me like, hey, I'm trying to do this, and I give her like, oh, okay, this is how you should do that, or this is what you should say, or how you should go about that. And then she take my advice, I take her advice, you know. So
Now, how can people see you, or what? Do you have any upcoming shows where people can get your information or buy your CD in there? Because you ain't got no CD for the host. I thought you have a CD for the.
You know what? I'm sorry, I don't have no CDs. But you know what? And it was just, she was like, we gotta go. I said, like, we literally stay 2 minutes from here. And I'm like, yo, it's 2 minutes away. No,
I'm just always about being on time. I didn't want us to be late at all. When you're on time, you're late.
We gonna be on time. Like, she was like, I was like, we gonna be on time. We literally just getting in the car and riding around the corner. She was like, if we on time, that means we late. We need to be. I was like,
I don't sound like that.
Yeah, so I had to run.
You know what? That's a good woman to have. Somebody that's gonna push it.
Yeah, yeah. But I do have CDs. Well, one, I host the open mic. We are the only open mic. We was national spoken word open mic of the year nominated. We are the only open mic group on Living Social. We're every third Sunday. The next open mic will be February 18th, and then every third Sunday following. I do have physical copies of my CD, but my CD is on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Play, YouTube. So you can like find my CD on all media outlets. You know, it's a critically acclaimed CD. Everybody rocking with it, you know. So I'm definitely blessed to have that, you know. And I will definitely get you a CD, like definitely. That's on the itinerary, you know.
Okay. Now, so you do have CDs where people can buy them now.
Yes. Yes.
What's the website and information?
Well, that's you can go on iTunes and download the CD. I believe it's like $5.99 on iTunes, something like that. Google Play, you can get the CD off of there. You can stream it, so you can literally like you can go to these Amazon, you can buy the CD off of there. So you can either go on there and buy it, download it, or you can just listen to it. Like it's either way.
Now, who's working on a book or got a book?
I don't got enough. You got a book?
Because somebody gonna be coming out with a book. I don't know why Spirit telling me this, but somebody.
Well, I always said to him he should have, because he has a story to tell. So I've always said he should come out with his own book. I've always wanted him to do that.
You know, I play with the idea of doing an audio book. You know what I mean? Cause I be having ADD somewhere, ADHD. So like just sitting down and like writing this out. But I can talk though. Like you know what I mean? So I was thinking about just coming out with an audio book and a spoken word audio book. So telling my story and my life story, and then whenever spoken word come up, literally performing the spoken word piece on the audio book, then going back into the story. You know what I mean? So
Now, I always like to lift up the brothers on the show, like them sisters of it. Do you have a piece that lifts up the brothers, that inspires the brothers?
Do I have a piece that inspires the brothers?
The community or inspire? Give me one of them that just charge people up.
Okay, cool. Let me see. I got so many of them. I'm trying to just roll through my mental.
Wow, he got the mind Rolodex. Roland, what we had on time? We probably got. What do you say? He act like I read silent. Oh, okay. And you ain't landed no airplane. He like. Go ahead.
Cool. All right, so we I guess we could do it like this. I want to know what's in my soul that's undescribable. Scribes and scrolls, massive droves of blacks and coal, math encryptions from black Egyptians. I'm from a block where they make salat but never make salat. They confused with blonde dreads. I'm God body, arm, leg, arm, head. Bronze feet means bronze legs. Arrow rule means bronze head. That means it's in my pigmentation to be God led. No, you don't get it. Oh, what's inside the pencil? God uses to write scriptures and create pictures. I'm God's led. And you can't pencil sharpen the sharpest artist. Mix with little Huey, Stokely, and Sharpton. So pardon, I'm a soldier without a cause. Huey P in a straw chair with a black hat and a black burner. Give me the Quran, I've been Mike Malcolm. Bible, I've been Nat Turner. So I'm praying to God to give me the vision to separate fact from fictitious. Taking hieroglyphs at hieroglyphics. Because when you God's pupil, it's nothing to see through God's pupil, but because it is brown iris, blind hatred because of my likeness, and it's like him. I used to be a monster, slave to the underworld like a lichen, devil horn sitting on my head like a Viking. Every plus was a minus, but then when I met God, I became a Midas, and I began to walk like a Titan. But they want to peg me as a barbarian, and want me to believe I'm an African, born again American. Wait. Just because you give me a social security number, that don't mean I'm any less Africa. That just means I'm secure while being social in America. Let's clear it up. They fed actions and instruction and intelligence, and we ain't fed enough. I'm a Garveyite mixed with a Marley soundbite, and I barely sound nice because I'm barely awoke. But just know, we ain't come from the same tribe, we ain't speak the same dialect, we ain't had the same wealth, but we dang sure came here on the same boat. And I got the blues.
Wow, that is good. And the producer love it. He like groovy. This engineer, he awesome. He is awesome. Let me do a biography right quick. Okay. Let's say 40 years from now, you're at an awards banquet, and you guys both getting awards. And they say, Geronimo speaks. You have touched so many lives, and when you first started, what was the legacy you sought out to live?
Well, I mean, one of my things is I grind for my last name, not my first. You know what I mean? So I want my name, last name, the Rogers, to go on forever. You know what I mean? I don't want to be somebody that was. I want somebody to be somebody that is. Dr. Martin Luther King is a civil rights icon. You know what I mean? And so I want to do iconic things. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a legend. I want to be an icon. You know what I'm saying? Legends are legendary. Icons are iconic. Presidents, iconic. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I want to be somebody that left a mark on this earth. When I was in 4th grade, my 4th grade teacher was like, "Hey, what you gonna be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I know whatever I'm gonna be, I know it's gonna be something that's successful, and I'm gonna leave a mark before I leave this earth." And that's what I wanted to be. I want to trailblaze. I want to be somebody who opened up new paths. I want to set my legacy in stone so our kids could live on from what I did. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to be known for. I want to be somebody that was a living icon, like, you know what I mean, that push people and help people and walk through the mud with people, and we all just living on in a better situation, a better life, you know. So
It said Candie Rogers. 40 years from now, what was the legacy you set out to set in life?
Wow. I always had a vision of being something successful. God, He directs your path. He's gonna do what He wants you to do. You know what I mean? So, just like my husband said, I want to leave a mark on this earth as well. I want, not just this talk show, but my name to be, when I'm long gone, whenever that time is, whenever that time comes, I want my name to be remembered, not just from my family, but from people that I never got a chance to meet or even talk to. I want them to know who Candie was, who CPR was. I want, and I speak so highly of this show because it's something that I created. I want this, this show to definitely be an open door for people who have a voice, people who have special talent or special skill. I want it to be that open door because you don't know who's watching the show. Sometimes it just takes one person to look at the show and get interested or be interested. So I want the show to be definitely that open door for that man or woman, that boy or girl. I don't, discriminate of any color. It's open to whomever, of any race wants to be, on the show and, express who they are. And by this show, being a panel of all women, it's not just, I only want only women, to be a part of the show. Men as well. Men or little boys as well. I want this show to be that opening door for that person.
Now, who was you guys' greatest influence getting you to this point? Who was the greatest? Who was the person, and it could be a family member, it could be somebody that's famous. Who did you say, I want to be just like or better?
When I was coming up, it was Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah was one of mine too. That's wow.
Oprah Winfrey, yeah. I don't want to be like her, but I want to be. She's very accomplished, very successful. She's also an African American woman. Next, I would definitely say Oprah Winfrey for me. She's somebody that I definitely looked up to when I was a little girl. I would say, oh, I want to be like her, and I want to have my show. And that's just how I thought when I was little, But I would say Oprah Winfrey for me.
Geronimo?
Well, with me, my role models are seasonal. You know what I mean? I try to.
That's deep. I gotta hear the explanation behind this one.
Yeah. So I try to. God puts people in your life. Like everybody's not meant to be in your life for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? So I've had different great men that come in my life in seasons where they were needed. Like I say, when I was in high school, my guidance counselor, his name Dr. Wyatt. He was somebody that was my role model, somebody who I looked up to. Before that, my uncle, he was somebody who was my Uncle Jim. He was somebody that was my role model. I got older. My Uncle Monk was somebody that was my old role model. My father, he was my role model. Like, you know what I mean? So I try to even now Jedediah Brown, he's somebody who's my role model currently that I aim. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different people that come into my life that's great. And they seasonal role models because they come into my life for a season. I sit at they foot, you know what I mean, and learn from them and see the way they do and get influenced. It's another a guy named Byron Banks Walker, you know what I mean, his business ethic, he is I'm just sitting at his feet just trying to learn the business of this artistry, and eventually our season's gonna be up. And when I say season gonna be up, I don't mean that they won't be in my life no more. I just mean me being a student, I'll graduate to a teacher. And then I need to become a teacher to somebody else and become a student to somebody else. So that's when I say, but everybody, like I say, my guidance counselor, still talk to him to today. He's more of my friend and somebody I look towards just for clarity in times of non-clear moments, you know what I mean? So I have a bunch of seasonal role models,
Now let me ask you a question. You've been an awesome spoken word artist. Who is your if you're Michael Jordan, who is your Scottie Pippen? Or who is the spoken word artist outside of yourself that motivates you, that blows your way?
Well, I mean, even that's on different facets. You know what I'm saying? If you look from a business standpoint of view, an artist that's killing the game business-wise, Emma Green. You know what I mean? So she's an amazing artist that I follow her business. If you look at an artist that grind is just massive and everybody is aware of, it's hood rage. You know what I mean?
Hood rage,
yeah. If you look at an artist that is well balanced as far as they bars and delivery, and they grinding, it's K Love. So you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different Scottie Pippens out there that I'm like, woo. Like, man, just pass the assist to me, coach. Like, you know what I mean? So it's so many different artists, like, you know what I mean, that definitely got different attributes that I look towards and I want to grow from. Like, you know what I mean? And then even in my own camp, like, I got like motivational speaker Kent Wade. He's a motivational speaker. He's the president of the organization I'm a part of, and he, like, I look up to him. Like, you know what I mean? He's my Scottie Pippen because he keeps me structured. You know what I mean? So, like I said, like, I never put one thing on or too much of one person. I literally I like a different point of view. You know what I mean? So.
You know, all of them is great because, you know, my first spoken word artist on my show was Black Butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
Black Butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had a husband on and...
Yeah, Chris, Iron Writer.
Yeah, and Hood Rays. I had all of K-Love, Darling Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that really blew me away outside of yourself, it was Momentum.
Mo. I forgot Mo.
Momentum
Mo
did
is,
one with my name in it off the top of his head. Blew me away. I'm like, wow.
So yeah, Momentum is he. You know, when I was telling you about legends and icons, Momentum not a legend because he wasn't legendary. Momentum is an icon because he's iconic. Like, you know what I mean? He is somebody that his light just, his aura just like illuminates where, like, you know what I mean? His energy just illuminates wherever he at. He's an infectious person. Like, I'm sure the people that's in his close, you know what I mean, vicinity is definitely loving it. Like, you know what I mean? I call Momentum up and get advice from him all the time as well. Like, I can't believe I missed him. Like, you know what I mean? So,
man, that's an amazing guy. Let me ask you a question. And it's two parts of the question. The first part is, you know, as we go in life, we all learn something. And if you could go back to talk to your 17-year-old self, what would you say?
17-year-old, man, try it. Like, you know what I mean?
From what you know about you today, what would you say to your 17-year-old self?
I mean, try it. Like, literally, like, because I didn't try so much. I didn't, like, you know what I mean? I was such in a box. I was such in my peripheral, it wasn't 360. Like, if I can go back to my 17-year-old self, I would experience more. I would go more places. I would try new things. It's food. It's down to foods that I had tried for the first time as in my late 20s. Like, you know what I mean? So try it. Like, you know what I mean? Stop being so go with what you know. You know what I mean? Because I ain't know a lot, so I ain't do a lot. You know what I mean? So if I could just go back, like, and that's why I tell the young people that's around me right now. They, my little bro Ty Lee, he's like, man, I just want to get on the bus and go to New York and just grind this music. Do it. Go do it. And go fall on your face and call me and be like, bro, I messed up. I need some money. And I'm going to send it to you. Like, you know what I mean? Make them type of mistakes. You know what I mean? Don't make mistakes that for your future. And I was always played it safe in being where I knew I could, in a controlled environment, where I knew I was this person, played my role, did what I had to do. You know what I mean? So if I could go to my 17-year-old self, I would just say, try it. Stop being scared to try it. You know?
Candie, same question.
Same with his. I would say just do it. You know, don't let the only people that can stop you, or the only person that can stop you, is you. So as long as you're alive and well, and you breathing, just do it. You're gonna have a lot of naysayers, and a lot of people think you're you're crazy for doing it, or crazy for taking that chance. If I can go back when I was 17, I would just do it. Sometimes you just never know. And you don't want to be one of those people when you're like wondering what if. You know, that's to me like it's a terrible feeling to be wondering what if. At least you can say you tried it, and if it didn't work out, it's okay. But I would say just do it. Just go for it.
Now, you have a deep love for God, correct?
Yes.
If God allowed you 5 minutes to go anywhere in the Bible, talk to anybody in the Bible, who would you want to go to? And where would you want to go, and who would you want to talk to?
Oh, wow. I would want to talk to, I would say Eve.
Wow, I guess definitely.
I'm always down for the men and everything, but I would want to talk to Eve. I would say, when I was a little girl, my mom, she would always keep us in church. We went like literally every Sunday, Bible school, Sunday school, just always in church. And as I continue to get older, I didn't stop going to church, but I just actually, I'm so busy, and I don't want to say I'm so busy as using that excuse, because you should never be too busy for God, because He's never too busy for you. You know what I mean? But I would say Eve. I've always been, I'm always, not to down the brothers. I'm always down for, our black men, but I'm always down, for our, our women. We are. It's a male dominant world, which is why I'm glad I have, the women that I have on the talk show with me. We all do have voices. So I would say Eve, because I think that Eve was Eve was someone who was very powerful. I would say she was someone who definitely left a message in the very beginning. And then, like I said, I always support our women. So I would say Eve.
What would you ask her?
What would I would ask her so many things. What would be one thing I would ask her? Let me think. I would probably ask her, that's a tough one.
What was you thinking when you gave him that apple?
Right.
That would be one.
Don't do it.
That would be
We can live forever, Eve.
Oh my goodness. That would be one question I would ask her. But that's so hard. I can't even narrow it down to one question. I would say what you just said. Like, what were you thinking of, with the whole Apple situation?
Right.
I would say that would be one question that I would ask her. So it would be that.
What about you, Geronimo?
I probably would go speak to Job.
Wow.
I probably would go speak to Job, and I probably would want to know, like, yo, like, bro, like, well, yo, like, where's this resilience coming from? Like, what are you, like, I have my limitations. Like, you know what I'm saying? You lost everything from wealth to your family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Only thing was is the devil couldn't harm you. So literally, you lost everything, and it was like, yo, that's faith, and that's a level of faith that a lot of us is trying to reach today. So I just would want to talk to him and not even ask him why you doing it. Just hear what his mind was like. What are you thinking during this time? You know what I mean? Just where your mind at? Like, how you feeling today, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got good spirits today because you just lost your son. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? And just get an understanding. You know what I mean? And watch. Talk, like, you know what I mean? And listen. So listening and watching. You know what I mean? Just Joe, you know?
Now, for me, it'd be for the thief on the cross. Because it would be like how the level of faith you have to have is to see God on the cross next to you, even though it's seemingly He in the same position you are, and to ask Him to remember you when you enter into His kingdom, to be saved on the cross when you nailed to a situation, and that would be mine that I would do, and I would ask Him, because He didn't see the wood, He didn't see the nails. He didn't even see a situation. He seen the Messiah. And that's what I would do. What would you guys say to your future selves? What would you say to a 60-year-old Geronimo? What would you say to a 60-year-old Candie?
60-year-old Candie, well, she'll definitely be retired.
Yeah.
She'll be enjoying the fruits of her labor.
Okay.
She would say to herself, girl, you did it.
Come on.
You can relax and enjoy your royalties. You supporting your family. You've been married for years. She would just say, you go, girl. That's what she would say.
That's good.
And mine would be, I would say to myself, like, hey, you figured it out in your 20s. So you spent more than half of your life doing what you love. Job well done. You know what I mean?
Now we got 5 minutes left, so give us the grand opera peace. Give us that peace. Give us the peace right now. That's gonna take everybody home. Give us that. Give us that fire.
Cool. Let's get it. All right. This is the intro to the outro. Hopefully I left y'all with a mouthful that'll implode if you don't speak it with an alto. If this CD is what you out for, I want to know what you into. Ram sharper than a Ginsu, slicing through your mentals. Whatever comes through my dentals is quintessential to me slamming instrumental. I even handle my pencil with a thimble. Ahead of my time, I'm going back to the future in the DeLorean. Too many cats riding my back. I ain't trying to be a centaur, I'm trying to be a centurion. So I'm pouring in, both hands on this music like an accordion. Well, I have an audience of 12 in the court again, then go back to the same block in front of the same store again. Aborted friends, because they get pissed with bullish when more depends. See, you can get money the right way, but it's more to sin. I want to be interviewed by a historian. I'm at peace with silence and can't sleep with violence, because that's how a coffin sounds. I wonder how many chains and Timbs is in the morgues lost and found. I wonder how many John Does is in the morgues lost and found. I wonder how many tears stain the floors of a morgue as loved ones get lost and found. See, I'm a full-blown ice storm, you slightly drafty. That's why I joke on rappers like Laffy Taffies, getting paid for my personal drive like an Uber cabbie. So welcome to the Terror Dome, where all these monsters fly like a pterodactyl. Religious flow got the swag of a tabernacle. No apologies, I destroy thug rappers and fake MCs. Every time I spit, I leave a pile of G's. I'm on my P's and Q's. Y'all hear me? I said I'm on my P's and Q's. Pouring quotables, promising qualities. Poor qualifying, punishing quantity. Polite, quiet, potent, quiz upon quarter per quarter. Like I said, I'm on my P's and Q's. And I'm here to bully this whole class like G's in school. Only difference is bullies stay in the back of the class. I'm in the front spitting, sucker and succotash. I came into this game with the word stand. My whole career is based off of the word stand. I came in stand up, but why stand in when you can stand out? They can't stand me because every time I spit, I get a standing ovation. So that's something you will never understand. On one hand, I write heaters for the non-believers, but then build up nations with the other hand. Schizo, I come from the roughest land and grew up trying to be the toughest man. Was known to let them pumpers wham. Now it's peace be unto thee and brother man. See, I was gonna get into this cipher and pull a Kendrick Lamar, but boy, it's too sensitive. Everything you say, Jay, you're going too far. I'm poetically, aesthetically, genetically better be, and that fact comes with a lot of jealousy. It's really clear. I ain't just talking out the side of my neck. My mouth write checks from Chase Bank. You can cash them anywhere. Stand next to the bar. You gonna feel his power. I'm the highest new name in the shot, Willis Tower. I'm a spitter. Most of y'all MCs ain't even drooling. I would say I'm taking them to school, but they toddlers, so I guess I'm preschooling. Ahead of my class, teacher's pet. Some even call me Urkel. First lesson, the blocks never put squares in your circle. I got wisdom plus vision that put me in my own division. That's why I spit with so much precision. They don't get it, they'll get it. You with it? I'm with it. Multiple personalities. Mama says a travesty, but I won't stop till the title was your majesty. If anybody think different, then step up and be the next casualty. Chosen one, standing on the Shadrach mountain with the same templates that Moses had. Too many idolized poets until they get the same treatment as the golden calf. Lyrical bullets, I'm only loathed and half. Too many haters in the wind, they want to loathe what you have, but don't do this flow to floss. It's Geronimo, known for falling, but never falling off.
Wow, that's slamming. Now, we about to close out, but before we close out, I want you guys to thank each other.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, honey bun.
And tell the world what you thanking for.
I thank you for motivating me, for encouraging me. I look up to you. I appreciate everything that you do. You are one of my biggest supporters, and I'm just trying to be on the level that you are on. So I appreciate, and that's not only that, I appreciate that the man you are today. So I love you very, very much.
And I want to thank you for turning my house into a solid ground, my castle, making it be a place of peace, a place of consistency. I come home, the house house is always clean. You got food on the table. No matter if I'm working nonstop, you always greet me with the same smile, the same love, and the same hug. And I want to thank you because if I didn't have a solid foundation in my world, I couldn't do this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be stable enough. And you create that stability in a place where I'm most vulnerable, in a place I'm most sacred, in a place that I would love to spend all of my time at. Like, you make it a place, you make it a magnetic place. So I want to thank you for that, baby.
People of God, if you don't believe in love after this show, you crazy, because everybody believe in love. The awesome, multi-talented Geronimo Speaks, the amazing super producer Candie Parker Rogers. Show is called Chatty Catty. People of God, remember, you had to be your own rescue. If it was easy, there would be no Candie. If it was easy, there would be no Geronimo Speaks. If it was easy, it'd be no Mr. Corey Wright. If it was easy, it'd be no Roland. It'd be no Apostle Fisher. But most important, if it was easy, there'd be no you. Get up today and make a change. You're responsible for your own happiness. Tomorrow is better because you made today and you put in the work today. We love you. Thank you for tuning into The Solutions.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
See you Wednesday. Peace. Fade to black. All right.